Look at the comeback schedule, so we're very on top of like, oh, which group is going to release their music video on which day, and when are they having their comeback stages? Because sometimes, even when the music video comes out, usually you can't really see the whole dance, but sometimes you can. So you just really put that into our calendars and know what we want to film. So like, let's say like, oh, I knew I wanted to do the Twice fancy tutorial, so I blocked off that whole time in our calendar, so we know to like sleep early the day before that, make sure we're all like well rested, and then so then we're like ready to go once that music video comes out.
Yeah. Like we definitely monitor the schedules of all the groups, and then depending on how much we like the choreography and how big the group is, or how much we like the group, or how much everyone else likes the group, we try to focus on those groups first. Yes. The wand.
Depending on the group in the song, and how long does it usually take you like to learn the full dance?
So the question was, how long does it take for us to learn a full dance? So this varies depending on like girl group or guy group. I would say usually the girl group songs are much easier to learn, at least for me. I would say a girl group typically maybe like 3 hours, 2 to 3 hours. Some are easier, it might be shorter. Some could take up to 4 to 5 hours. Guy groups,
it varies even more.
yeah, because some could get really hard.
Right.
Those could get like, I don't know, like 5 to 6 hours. Yeah, and we try to split it up. We don't want to like spend like 6 hours straight with just learning that same dance. So we like, let's say today we'll learn the chorus and like the first verse, and then the next day we'll learn like the second verse and the dance break like that. So we just kind of like chop it up, so make sure we're comfortable with it.
Yeah, we also tend to practice while we are filming. So for example, let's say if we split it into 10 cuts, the first cut we would do it maybe like 10 times, and during that 10 cuts we would also be practicing technically.
And still learning some of the details.
Right.
Like sometimes you think you learn the whole dance until you're actually filming, you're like, wait a second, like what was this head angle, what was that? And then you go back to check. So it's like continuously like a learning process.
Right. Yes.
First of all, she dragged me here and I'm enjoying myself. But what got y'all started into dancing and stuff? What'd she say?
What started us to dance? For YouTube or
Like
just in general?
In general.
Yeah, in general.
Oh, in general. Okay.
I started dancing in first grade. I wanted to get into ballet. I don't know why. I just wanted to take a ballet class randomly, and I did that. But it wasn't until middle school when Girls' Generation came out with like G, Genie, all that, and, like Super Junior, Wonder Girls, like that whole era. All that stuff came out, and then that's when I got into K-pop. And at the same time, I was really like attracted to like all their styling, their dances. So that's when I actually started learning K-pop dances.
For me, I started dancing in 9th grade. I focused on a lot of hip hop styles, particularly popping. And then after I got into K-pop from Ellen, which was around
2014, when Red Velvet came out.
Yes.
What got him
So,
into K-pop.
so after that, I started doing more K-pop stuff and like learning choreographies and stuff. Yeah. Yes.
This isn't really a question, but just congratulations on getting engaged.
Thank
It's so exciting.
Yes. Yes.
What is your favorite? What's your most challenging cover that you've done? Like how do you want to learn? And then what is your favorite cover that
Okay, so 2 questions. What's the most challenging cover that we've done, and our favorite cover that we've done? I would say one of the most challenging ones was Lisa danced to "I Like It," because when Blackpink's like when they're doing a cover themselves, like not singing, that's when the choreography tends to be harder than when, let's say, it's like this dance for like their own title tracks. So when I'm learning just Lisa's like dance breaks and all that, it gets pretty hard and gets really tiring. So I remember that one being pretty challenging for me, especially when I was filming. It was really tiring.
Yeah. For me, definitely 10 new heroes. It was very hard. I had to practice a long time for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Favorite cover?
Favorite cover. The first one that popped up in my mind was our NCT 127 Superhuman cover. Because NCT is our favorite group, so I feel like I just had more fun dancing to them and filming for that cover.
Right. Yeah, and we prepped. That one was the first time we changed our filming camera too.
Oh yeah, like a 4K camera, so we.
Yeah, we used to film with just the vlog camera. Yeah. My favorite cover has changed very recently. My favorite cover is Chicken Noodle Soup. Yes, we had a lot of fun with that one, especially at the end. We're just like having our own fun.
With the soda on the side.
Yeah.
You have yours first. Okay. What was it like working with Chungha at the video?
The question was, what was it like working with Chungha? It was very, very amazing. Like even till this day, every time we listen to Gotta Go or like songs that I knew play somewhere, we're like, like get the chills. It was like our first time being invited to Korea to film with an artist, so it meant a lot to us. And she was really, really nice. She like came up to us, and because she speaks English, so like we had a conversation and all that. So it was really, really fun.
Yeah, it really opened our eyes to like what's it like to be a K-pop idol, because she was very, very tired.
Very tired. She had
It was during her
music
promotions.
bank filming that morning. It was like a Friday,
Right.
so she spent the whole day at music bank, and then she went to that studio to film with all the other dance crews.
And then when we filmed that collaboration, it was like 11 at night. So
Started
she
late.
was like very, very tired.
Yeah, she was like sleeping whenever we're not filming, but like she's super professional. As you can see, you guys probably couldn't even tell that she was like tired, but she pulled through. She's awesome.
Yes.
I still need that shirt, Brian. I still need that shirt.
Yes.
How do you guys get your transitions so clean, like between the outfits?
For this one,
Question was, how do we get the transition so clean?
it's a work in progress. I think.
If you look at our older ones, it
Yes,
does not look
it's
like
not
the way
as
it is
good.
now. Like before, we didn't really even try to like stand in the same place. We're just like, okay, I'm gonna change it to something else and let's film, and then he would just put a transition in. But after a few months, we got more like picky, so we try to stand in like the same spot where it's not the same, not like at least like plan it out beforehand, and Brian does all the editing.
So it depends on how we look during the transition. So I decide my transitions based off of where we're standing, how the transition looks like. For example, if like one of us is here and then we plan to start the cut somewhere else, that's a little easier because all I have to do is just mask it a little bit and then just mask this side, and then the other person comes out, or she herself comes out. If it's the same place transitions, those are a little harder because we have to stand at the same place and do the same motions at the same angle at the same time. So I try to pick a right frame so that it matches the best.
We also try to practice that transition, whatever choreo is there during those few counts, just to make sure we do it the same every time.
Right. Yes.
Thank you.
Was there ever a group that like you were really excited for a song and it came out and you were a little bit disappointed with it, or vice versa, when you weren't really looking forward to it and it came out?
There definitely were a lot of those instances. I would say,
I think one group that we always wanted to cover but never had the chance to cover was ATEEZ. They came out with Say My Name and Hala Ha, and during that time we were super, super busy, so we never got around to it, and we usually tend to do the newer songs, and then so we waited for their next song, and it wasn't as hype as we thought, and we were also really busy during that time, so we decided to pass on that one as well, but
we're still
we
considering
really want to do
covering the
their
past
songs
yeah.
too. Yeah.
Taste.
Yes,
Taste.
their choreo is amazing.
Yeah.
Another one that I thought of was I was ready to film Red Velvet's song after Zimzalabim, but then when Umpamta came out, not saying the song is bad at all, but we got really, really busy, and it wasn't a style that yeah, it wasn't a style that I hoped for, but I love how, I really like Red Velvet. I like how their style's always changing up, but during that time frame, I think it was KCON was happening too, and then Pump I came out, so I really struggled. I was like, should I cover it or should I kind of wait, because we were starting to like travel and all that, so unfortunately I didn't have time to cover that.
Yeah. There's a lot of, if we had all the time in the world, we
would cover so many more songs. And sometimes like the songs grow on us. Like sometimes like at first I'm like, okay, maybe I don't think I'll have time to cover this. But then 2 weeks later I'm like, I really want to cover it. So it's like, oh, but then something else came out. So I really have to like prioritize and see what I really want to cover, what we have time for.
Right. Mask. Yes.
What kind of lighting do you guys use for the mask?
What kind of lighting? Well, for our two lights, in the left and the right, those are both LIFX bulbs, so they change color and I can change the color and the intensity of them. We usually make them just like a normal yellowish white color, and then I post-edit it to be more white or yellow depending on what the cover is like. Yeah, it's pretty simple. It's
yeah, and we have like the IKEA lamps. We're trying to like improve on our lighting too, because
yes.
it's like
it's very bright on both sides.
Not even.
We're trying to improve that.
Yeah.
Yes.
We dance pretty often, just like randomly.
We also have, sometimes if it's like, even if it's a K-pop song or not a K-pop song, we just do like silly moves all the time. Just like groovy, doing whatever.
Yeah.
Yes.
How long does it take you to do your hair, Brian?
How long does it take Brian to do his hair? Pretty long.
Depends. For days like today, it took maybe 30 minutes. Regular days, it's like 15.
You have like extra special.
Yes, for you guys.
Sorry.
We'll answer both. We'll go with the person in the back first. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
Skincare routine? I actually, like, he didn't really use a lot of like skincare products before, so I like dragged him into using all my products, even though we have like different types of skin, like skin type. But yeah, I would say YesStyle is really good for like K-pop clothes, because a lot of the stuff that K-pop idols wear, you can't really see that. You don't really see that like in the streets here. You can't find that here, so. YesStyle or like Amazon.
I think Zara, sometimes there's seasons, like they change clothes very often, and sometimes it matches a group's comeback really well.
Yeah.
And just keep a lookout for that if you're ever interested in doing that.
Yeah.
Zara helps a lot. Yes. Yes.
What editing software do you use?
I use Final Cut Pro.
One more question.
Yes.
Do you specify one specific member to learn the dance from, or do you just look at it in general?
That's
The
a good
question was, do we specify one specific member to learn from, or just in general? We don't stick to one specific member, but well, actually, it's different for when we do solo versus.
Yeah, if there's like a rap solo or whatever, we definitely copy that member for sure.
Yeah, if it's like
Or any
a
solo.
solo cover, I usually just pick the center for each part. So I switch every like whatever how many accounts. When it's two people, we usually assign a member to each. So like let's say they have like opposite choreo, maybe I'll pick someone on the left and he'll pick someone on the right. So like
A little better.
yeah. Or like we'll pick one of us do like the person who's singing and rapping, and then one of us will choose someone on the side to do like the backup.
I think like for example, Dropping is a very split song, but it's also very like cohesive. So when it's cohesive, we obviously do like the same choreo, and we try to look at all the members to see what like the base choreo is, because each idol has their own dance style, and they tend to change the choreography. And some idols are more clean and structured to the base choreo than others. So we try to see who does that more often, so we can find out like what the real choreographer decided to choreograph for them. And then, but like for example, for Dropping, like the chorus and like the starting dance break, those are like very set choreos versus their solo parts, which are very unique. And so we definitely do base it off the solo person if it's on the solo part.
And then for the choruses, we probably usually just choose like the main dancer, even though for Dropping there are too many of them. But usually we follow the main dancer, because they tend to do it like the way the choreographer wants them to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're willing to share, since you are such creative dancers and you are getting married, are you excited to come up with maybe some creative ideas for your first dance?
We have been planning for our wedding,
Yeah.
but we didn't decide anything on our first dance yet.
It's
yeah, we still don't know what we wanted to do. Like, we just want to go more like traditional or what? Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like there are expectations, but we don't. Yes, exactly. So we don't even know if we're gonna dance a dance.
Like
but
do a
we-
special
we'll
dance or
decide.
like just
Yeah.
slow dance. We'll see. Question though. Yeah, we have been thinking about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, feel free to drop any ideas you guys have. Oh, sorry, I'll do you first.
Have you had like any idols like recognize your dancing? Like you post a cover and they like say, "Oh, it's cool" or whatever.
I think we have. The question was, have any like idols recognized our dancing or covers? I think.
When we went to the Korea trip, we met Chungha and Yujang, and
They did both say that
Yeah.
it's our apartment covers. Yeah, sometimes they would like our pose. I think
very rarely.
someone from
EXID?
EXID liked our cover, and then
I think
from
BTB?
Block B.
Block B.
Block B.
Yes.
Yeah, it happens sometimes, but not very often because I know most of the idols they don't really, they either don't have their personal Instagram or they don't use their Instagram to like random people's stuff. But when it does happen, it's really.
I think a lot of idols tend to stay off social media too, so I wouldn't be surprised if many of them don't see our covers at all or have a chance to see it. What do you mean by a background?
Like our apartment background. I think having it is easier because it's like one less thing to think about. Like she's asking about our apartment, like our having the
Like our
background for our
background
covers, right?
in the cover, or?
Okay, sorry.
Oh, background in
I thought you meant like
dance. I'm
our
sorry,
apartment
we couldn't hear you.
background, like the curtains and the floor.
Oh yeah, our dance styles are.
Yes, I do think like that having like a long like, dance background really affects our current style. Like let's say we dance kind of differently. If we're not trying to dance a certain way, if we just like dance naturally, we have pretty different styles. Like I'm more like feminine. I used to take like jazz classes, like modern, that type of dances. So I think that has helped me, especially in like girl group dances, like having that foundation. So I do think that's really helpful, but it's not like necessarily needed because a lot of people who I see who just started dancing like in the recent few years also dance really, really well. So
Sure.
I would say it has an effect on our style, but
I think so. I think the dance in general now, especially K-pop style, is more like urban, and so like a lot of urban styles now are very fusion style of dances. So like for example, for me, if I were to choreograph something, it would probably incorporate a lot of like popping elements, like isolation, etc. And so. We also have our dance background from our high school, which was a lot of contemporary and like lyrical jazz, and so we will tend to put those in as well here and there. Yeah, for example, like my freestyle, it's not just purely popping. There's other elements in it too, and it's complete from my background. Yeah, so it varies person to person. For us, we try to throw that away for our covers.
in order to be more clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll take 2 more questions.
Yes.
Whee!
The hat. Yes. Yes. Sorry,
Can't
can't
hear
hear
you.
you. I didn't hear the second question. What did we think about the K-pop competition yesterday?
Oh, the day before?
Oh, they did 2 days ago. Yes. I think it was awesome.
It was really awesome.
Yeah.
It's so nice to see like the community here because we're only really familiar with the LA K-pop dance community, so it's really refreshing to see like all.
Yeah.
all
Like when
a lot of you
we.
guys are here too, so.
Right. Yeah, we recognize.
Yeah,
All
so
of
it was
you.
really, really great to see, and we were really impressed by all the costume too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Keep dancing. You guys are awesome. Awesome. Yeah.
Good job, everyone.
Last question.
Yes, last question.
Yes.
What are you guys looking forward to in the new year?
What are we looking forward to in the new year? Definitely doing more covers. We're taking like a little break right now since we're like traveling here and we're like gonna go home like during Christmas break. So we haven't really done a lot of covers in the past like 2 or 3 months. So definitely looking forward to picking that up. There are a lot of covers that I didn't cover in the past 2 months that I still want to do. So we have like a long bucket list of covers to do. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I wanted to stream.
Starting from the new year, we'll probably stream a little bit more
Maybe.
on Twitch.
Hopefully.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Yeah, so for those who like to watch us stream, we hopefully we'll be back.
Yes.
And
And there's more, but you'll see.
yeah,
Something bigger. Okay. No, baby.
I'm done. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Okay, so that's the last question. Thank you a lot for being here. We're gonna set up for our random play dance. So it's gonna be near the back.